Hey, what's up? Right off the bat, the update brings two new optics aimed at close quarters encounters. The Romero 8T for security and the PKO6 for insurgents, both designed to give you more sight options without breaking the feel of the weapons you already know. These optics aren't just flavor. They change how some weapons handle in tight spaces by offering either a wider window for awareness or a compact, low-profile look that keeps sightlines clean. Beyond sights, there's a new challenge tier that's clearly for players who want to test their stamina and consistency. Tier 3 challenges crank up the objectives so they're proper long-term goals, stuff like racking up 500 sidearm headshots, getting 500 fire support kills as commander, or even winning 100 rounds without dying. These are the kind of grind milestones that reward persistence and playbook mastery, and they'll probably reframe how some players approach round-to-round strategies. Modders got a solid infusion of support with this patch. The editor now includes WWY's project access, so creators can craft custom audio more easily. And there's direct mod.io integration, which streamlines publishing. The update also allows mod uploads bigger than 2 GB directly from the editor and includes new guides and stability improvements. The devs even resolved blueprint compile errors that were tripping up creators. In short, the game's mod pipeline is stepping up, and that should open the door for richer community content and bigger projects. If you're into cosmetics or buy DLC, there's new premium gear and skin sets that landed with this drop. Security players get the GRS operator set, which includes a full complement of gear pieces, while insurgents picked up the Jackal set. There are also 2 themed weapon skin bundles, Canyon for security and Jezzail for insurgents, plus Clear Sight themed patches for both factions. These are fairly standard premium fare in terms of what they add visually, but they do a nice job of expanding player expression without interfering with gameplay. On the fixes front, this patch is broad and detailed. Art and graphics issues received a lot of attention. Color inconsistencies and graphical artifacts were cleaned up, lighting and shadow problems were tuned, and texture or model clipping that broke third-person animations was addressed. Several reload animations and weapon skin visibility problems were fixed too, which should make some of those awkward visual moments disappear. Gameplay also got balance tweaks where necessary. Mortar and fire support timings were restored to proper behavior, and issues like reduced IED damage were corrected so things feel more predictable in actual matches. Map and level design fixes are part of the package as well. The team removed unfair camping spots, closed off exploits, patched stuck locations and missing geometry, and corrected bot pathing issues on maps like Ministry. Those kinds of fixes quietly improve match flow and reduce those "how did I get stuck there" moments that ruin a round. UI and stability improvements were rolled into the build as well. Party display issues, recoil stack corrections, cosmetic naming and localization errors, pop-up delays, menu navigation problems, and challenge screen overlaps were all addressed. Other quality of life adjustments include fixes for store label inconsistencies, and a number of crash fixes for long matches and replays. Mod editor-specific notes are worth looping back to because they're big for content creators. The addition of WISE files, the ability to upload mods above the old 2 GB cap, and direct mod.io integration all make it easier to produce and share substantial mods. Resolving Pi blueprint compile errors and improving editor stability were explicitly called out, which should reduce friction and keep projects from stalling during the build process. In ecosystem terms, those changes can lead to more ambitious, higher quality community maps and modes. The community has already started spotting a few residual quirks after the update. Some players report a transient flicker when zooming in and out with certain optics like the ACOG, where the screen around the sight briefly goes black, a tiny but jarring visual artifact, and others have noted that the updated sight models seem to behave more like proper 3D moving sights rather than static 2D overlays, which has been a topic of discussion, and those are the sorts of things that show up when an update touches rendering and sight behavior, and players are actively sharing their experiences on forums. Overall, this patch feels like a balanced package. New toys for players to experiment with, meaningful support for mod creators, cosmetic content for collectors, and a sweeping list of bug fixes that clean up a lot of day-to-day irritations. It's the kind of update that doesn't rewrite the game's identity, but strengthens the foundation and gives players a few fresh pieces to engage with. If you've got strong opinions on how the new optics handle or you run mods of your own, there's now more room to tinker and more stability under the hood to do it. That's the lowdown on what this patch brought to the table. It's a mix of polish, creator tools, and a couple of new toys. The kind of update that quietly improves the game while giving players reasons to keep coming back.